Morning, everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves and having a good day so far. I'm really here just to talk about what the future jobs will potentially hold, but also give you a bit of view into where technologies come from and what potentially technology will look like in the future. So my name is Daniel Grant, as you're all aware of right now, as long as this works, which it isn't. And we're just fixing a slide problem. But essentially, my background is that I've been working in recruitment for the last 9 years. Recruitment is essentially finding people to come and work with the clients that come to me and say, we're looking for this sort of person to work with us. I've been working on the agency side before joining Kainos, and the agencies work with a number of different companies to find the talent that these organisations are looking for. So I worked for a company in London called Dome, and then I worked for CPL over here, and then Blueprint as well, and then I also have just recently joined Kainos in the last year. So it's a bit of a change for me because I've gone from the agency working with a whole lot of clients to working just finding talent for one organisation across UK and Ireland. So in my agency days, however, I recruited for a whole range of technology organisations. This gave me a pretty good opportunity to understand what was happening in technology, what sort of jobs were going to be the next jobs, the next big thing that these organisations would be looking for, and the sort of people that they'd want to be employing. This is really important to you guys because technology is changing so fast that the jobs that you come out into in 5 to 10 years, when you finish university, there are going to be some similarities between what I'm looking for today, but also a lot of differences in terms of technologies that are being used, but also how they're being applied as well. So I was given this very ambitious presentation title of So You Want to Change the World. Essentially, this can be anything. This can be anything from changing the world just in your locality, in your school, such as ThinkSpace, in the wider world, if through technology you have the chance to impact the entire globe. And I'm really going to touch on all those points, hopefully, throughout the next 20-odd minutes. So there's two very important words, however, that I want to cover off first. Those two words are interest and passion. Everyone probably thinks they're quite similar, and in some regards they are. Interests, everyone has interests. I've got interests. I enjoy rugby, I enjoy reading, I enjoy my games, enjoy a whole lot of things. They're my interests. What I'm actually passionate about, however, is my job and finding people and going out and really growing Kainos to the next level, to the level it needs to be to achieve its actual own goals. So that's what drives me, that's what keeps me awake, and that's what makes me want to just keep on going, and that's what really makes me enjoy my job. There's also other passions as well, family, friends, and life as well. These are all very important, but if you're really going to change the world, you need to have a passion and you need to follow that through. James's passion is bringing coding into schools, and he's following through with that. You've seen people with passion today and also yesterday where you really can see the impact they're having on the entire world. And it's a very important distinction between interest and passion. So I wanted to go on to look at a few tech titans, people that have really made an impact on the global scale. And these ones are, who's this? Anyone? Steve Jobs, yep. So Steve Jobs founded Apple way back when. Actually, he got his passion from pulling apart electronic radios in his father's garage when he was really young. He started out just tinkering away with just purely radios and any other technology that he could get his hands on, pulling it apart, figuring out how it worked, and putting it back together. He then went on to found Apple and started out with a Macintosh. And then he's also bought in, and now he's in most of our pockets or at home. He's got the Macintosh, he's got the iPads, he's got the iPhones. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he's still having a very major impact on the world as a whole. Apple, the company he founded, is going to continue to innovate, and it will continue to create opportunities that will really impact the world as a whole. This next one might be a bit harder. Anyone have an idea? So this is the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. He is not a techie. He came from a financial business background, and he came up with the idea of Amazon.com when he was traveling across the US. He really changed how the world how the world shops. He's really made a huge impact on the high street and ensuring that now we can go and we can do shopping anywhere through the mobile devices that Steve came up with or through our PCs. He is making a huge impact on the world through technology, even though he wasn't a techie to start off with. He's also now moving into the corporate world, the corporate computing world as well, the launch of Amazon Cloud Services as well. The last one, everyone will know this one. Bill Gates, the richest man alive, Forbes top #1. He started Microsoft, and between him and Steve, really the fathers of computing today. So these three guys really made a huge impact on technologies as a whole. These two, they're a wee bit older now, but Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they founded Google, and they founded Google from their dorm room. They actually got together a whole lot of just old computers, wired them together, networked them together, and they actually developed the first algorithm to do the searching because they wanted to figure out what was actually on the web and how could people make use of it. They then found out that they'd make a heck of a lot of money from it as well, so kept on going. But they've also pushed on from just the search. They've gone into something else which everyone may know about. Sorry, malfunctions. There we go. Android and Google Glass. Android is the largest mobile operating system in the world right now. Alongside iOS, it's going to be in most people's pockets. Everybody has maybe one or both, and it's really made an impact on the smartphone industry. And then Google Glass is really going to impact the world of wearables and how we're going to perceive our world through the lenses that these guys will be making for us, whether they be contact lenses or whether they actually just be phones. They've just hooked up with Ray-Ban to make them much more stylish and much more appealing to everybody else. So there's three other things that these guys are working on. One is self-driving cars, autonomous vehicles. The other is Google Wear, which is really an operating system just for wearable devices such as watches, such as wristbands, headbands. It will be able to be applied everywhere. Right now it's just being used on their Google Watch, sorry. And in the last year and a half alone, they've, I think, purchased about 8 different robotics companies. So they're really diversifying, they're really changing the world in terms of the technology that they're using. So what this means, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not qualified enough, but my guess would be that if you were heading home, you felt like you wanted a pizza, you told Google Glass that you wanted a pizza, Google Wear figured out how far away from home you were, and it worked with the network to order a pizza from Domino's, and then an autonomous vehicle drove up with the pizza and delivered it to you. Google's just become a pizza delivery company. Another one would be Twitter. This one is probably, it's just come about maybe by accident. I don't think they ever had a major plan to have such a huge impact on the world. I mean, what can you do with 160 odd characters? But Twitter has really allowed us to see the changing of the world and to really allow people to get their stories out there when they've been held back or held down, whether it's through Africa, whether it's through the Middle East, whether it's just people wanting to tell a story about what they're doing. It's allowing us to really communicate with the entire world on a scale that we probably didn't have before Twitter, and it's really allowing people to get the story out when it couldn't have gotten out before. So they are also, in their own way, making a change to the world, and it's a really important one. So I wanted to bring it home, bring it a wee bit closer to Belfast. This is a mobile defibrillator. You'll find them in hospitals, you'll find them in ambulances, police stations, and dentists in Scotland apparently soon, so I'm not sure I want to go to a dentist in Scotland anytime soon. And this was actually invented in Northern Ireland by Frank Pantridge. He invented it just down the road, and if you're looking for someone to really model how you're going to change the world or how you want to change the world, this isn't probably a bad place to start. This man alone has saved hundreds of thousands of lives through the invention that he came up with. So that's a good place to start if you're wanting to change the world through medical devices. Another one, to bring it back into a bit more entertainment, is Dave Perry, and he actually developed these 2 games, Earthworm Jim and Into the Matrix, and he also founded Shiny Entertainment in the US. So he's really born and bred Northern Ireland and has gone out and really impacted the world of entertainment through his accomplishments as well. So that's two people that we could use to really relate to from Northern Ireland and understand how we can make an impact on the world. Arthur C. Clarke was a well-known sci-fi author. He passed away, I believe, in 2008, and he has written a whole lot of very well-known science fiction books. He was also a space futurist as well. He came up with ideas about how the human race would develop technology for the future. And he wrote an article in 1968 called The Hazards of Prophecy, and out of that came his three well-known rules. These three rules are, I think, a pretty good guide if you're really wanting to change people's perception about what is possible. So the first one is, if someone who is very experienced, has a load of years of understanding behind them, has won awards, accolades, and really is the top of their field, says that something is actually possible, then it probably is. He's probably right, or she's probably right. However, if that exact same person tells you that something is not possible, it's impossible, then you'd be well justified to say, actually, I don't believe you, because it's possible based on his frame of mind, it's possible based on their thoughts, but it's not actually, he doesn't know what's going to be possible in 5-10 years, okay? And the next one is, the only way of discovering what's possible is to pass into the impossible. So you've got to really push past where you're going and push past what people have told you is not possible to find out where the next step is, where the next jump comes from. It was impossible to really get to the moon. It was impossible. Steve Jobs was told by the BlackBerry CEO that a year before they launched the iPhone that what they were doing was impossible. He proved them wrong a year later. Excuse me for a second. He proved them wrong a year later. And it really is important that you guys figure out that when you go into work, that when you go into either starting your own businesses or when you leave university, that these ideas that you guys come up with, don't let people tell you they're impossible. Listen to their reason, listen to the advice, listen to their knowledge and experience, but always remember that their experience is defined by what they've done. It's not defined by what's going to be possible in the future. And the third and most famous rule, rather, is any sufficiently advanced technology will be indistinguishable from magic. So what our great-great-grandparents see us using today, they would probably imagine it's magic. Smartphones, they would have no context to understand how they're being developed or how we're using them. And the same for us, for our great-great-grandchildren. When they start to use technology, I won't have a clue what they're doing. It will seem like magic, but anything that we deliver or develop over the next several years, next 15, 20 years, it will be magic to someone from 15, 20, 30 years ago. So there's a video here that I want to show you. It is from Microsoft. It is the vision of the future. It's a few years old now, but it was looking at 2019. And it's really having a look at what technology might look like in 2019. So here you go. So that's what the future of technology is going to look like from Microsoft's point of view. And this is solutions which you guys hopefully will be involved in developing when you come out of university. You'll be working with technology such as you just saw to really improve the world as a whole, the way that we interact with technology, but also how that helps our lives as well. So with any luck, I'm going to be working from the middle of a forest somewhere in about 5-6 years' time. So what does that mean to you guys? Northern Ireland's technology scene is continuing to expand and explode. We need more people, we need more staff, we are continually looking, and I am continually looking for people to join companies such as Kainos. But alongside Kainos, there's a whole lot of other companies throughout Belfast and Northern Ireland who are looking to recruit staff to come and join them. There is opportunities there, there's jobs going every single day, which we can fill with if we find the right people with the right skills and the right talents. So we're really looking to encourage you guys to really get into technology and really find the passion for pursuing it through. So I just wanted to touch on a few jobs that we're currently working with today. The sort of jobs that we're currently recruiting for right now are the ones that you probably have heard about: software engineers, business analysts. We're looking for UX designers. We're looking for software architects, technical architects. We're looking for software testers and QA engineers. We're looking for Scrum Masters. We're looking for WebOps engineers. We're looking for infrastructure architects, infrastructure engineers, network engineers, and 3D engineers as well. So there's a lot of jobs out there that if you've got a passion for technology or interest in technology, then there's going to be something there for you to get involved with. There's something going to be there for you to get take on as a role when you finish school, when you finish university. There's two roles there that I mentioned briefly. One is the WebOps engineer and the other is a data scientist. I'm going to just give you a very quick shot of what they are, just to give you a bit more knowledge around them. The WebOps engineer is a relatively new role. It's been tried over time, but really it's come into its own in the last few years. Essentially, this is someone who sits in a development team with ensuring that the production environment that the developers release code to is stable, is scalable, is secure. But previously what happened was when developers were developing, they went and developed code. They wrote it for about 8 weeks, and then they chucked it over a wall to the deployment team, and then they deployed it at that point. Now, however, the WebOps engineer works alongside developers every step of the way. So skipping right on, jobs in the near future, we're looking at haptic engineers, so really talking about the programming devices to respond to your touch. We're looking at drone engineers to really look after and maintain the drones that we were talking about earlier, Amazon using them for deliveries, security forces, police surveillance. All these organizations are really picking up drones, so we're going to need people to look after them. Smart device engineers, people to develop not smartphones, not tablets, nothing like that. We're looking at people to develop shoes that will tell you how far you've walked, who will be able to tell you if they need to be changed, if your soul's running out. Your fridge will tell you if your chili's going off. Things like that. We've also got VR engineers. Facebook has recently purchased Oculus, which is a VR developer who developed that system right there. So there's going to be a future in virtual reality. And we're also going to be looking at personal security online, so bodyguards online, people to protect personal data. Outside of that, what about the future? So nanomedicine is going to be coming along. We're going to have little bots floating around inside our bloodstreams, hopefully, that will target cancerous cells, will deliver medicine to where they're needed. And there's going to be a future for people that really specialize in nanomedicine. I can imagine a day coming where we'll have some little of these bots implanted into us when we're born, and they'll be with us for our entire life, making sure that our systems, our bodies, and our biological functions are working to the optimum level and making sure that we're really in a healthy state. There's also, working with that, there's going to be people that will look after other implants within our body. There's going to be a time where, if you look far enough in the future, communication will be just through, you might have a communication device implanted in your head just to talk to people, or there might be cognitive enhancements. We're going to need people to look after these. So this is probably 30, 40, 50 years down the line. The smart city engineer down the bottom there, the smart cities of the future are going to really have a lot more data than they have right now, and we're going to need to have engineers mostly trained around software to understand that data and to really drive some use out of it. The EV engineer will actually be, you'll have a software engineer in every single mechanic shop around the country to make sure that our cars, which will be autonomous at the time, looking after themselves. And then the AI programmer. In the future, droids are going to take some of our jobs. There's no doubt about it. But essentially, we're going to want to make them more human, more companionable, more understanding of, make them more approachable to the average person. So that's really what we're looking at. Hollywood shows us this is the future. Hollywood would love us to think that in 30, 40, 100, 50, 200 years, we're going to be a slave race to robots. Not my idea, really. I'm not really a big fan of it. But this is more of what I'm thinking about. So you wear a personal device which realizes something's wrong with you. It alerts your personal robot, which you've got at home, which comes out to investigate. And when it realizes that something is really wrong with you, you can't respond, you can't move, it lifts you up and carries you out to your autonomous vehicle, which will then drive itself and deliver you straight to the A&E department of the hospital of the tomorrow and the hospital of the future. So look, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the talk, and I hope it's given you some ideas in terms of what jobs will be coming when you finish, because to be honest, we need more people like you. So if you've got any questions, get hold of me, I'll be around. So thanks a lot.